Hello, 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 and welcome back to Spoony Games and part 13 of Sound of Drop Fall into Poison. And we were making a decision on what room to go in. I'm still thinking the director's office is probably the most useful one, considering this is all supposed to start after he died. So let's try there. This is the director's office. I mumble while looking up at the words written on the sign above the door. The door's appearance differs greatly from the doors of the storage room and the reference room, with red ornaments decorating it. It's the director. He's got to pay for that shininess. Even if there had been no sign, I would have known this room belonged to someone of importance on first glance. Yeah, that's what they're going for. The atmosphere from out here also seems to have a heavy air to it. It's as if I'm standing before the door of a school principal. If I don't go in and see, I really won't learn anything just staring in from out here. The obvious truth is that I already possess the courage to go through with this. Yeah, you've been through a lot already. Keeping an eye out for any phenomenon. While coming through the door, I push open or push on the heavy door. The door makes a scuffing sound on the floor as I open it. So I'm just looking, is that some weird bug on the table? Please excuse my intrusion. It's not as if anyone would be in here, but without thinking the words came out. An elegant desk and chairs are situated at the centre of the director's office, and bookshelves run along the walls without a gap in between. The main wall, when looking from the entrance, is a giant tank. Made of translucent acrylic material, no one could argue that this room isn't also one of the aquarium's displays. The room is perfectly in order, giving me a sense of who the director is from the way the desk is. More than just neurotic, they don't seem to have left even one speck of dust. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly strange, does there? Just as I mutter this, I noticed a map on the top of the desk. In this neat and tidy room, only the top of the desk appears to be a work in progress. Still, what is that? Still looks like some kind of bug. This is... After moving aside a book that seems to be used as a weight, I find a map of the aquarium. This one is different from the one I picked up back at the stage. The design seems older and the publication date is from 5 years ago. 5 years ago? It's not as if I can ignore the number. It's when everything started for the Mantan Aquarium and me. Inside the map I discover one defining difference. The deep sea fish booth. The place was closed down 5 years ago is recorded on this map. Could this be? It seems that the deep sea fish booth was just after coming out of the tunnel. However, it's strange. I've been to that area several times, but there is only a long wall. There's no trace of anything else. seems that when it was closed down, they filled it in the wall. It wasn't like that from the start. Questions rise within me as I consider it. If where I am now is 5 years in the past, then I should be able to get to the deep sea fish roof. This line. As I repeatedly look over the map, I spot one red line. The line extends from the deep sea fish booth all the way up to a circle at the top of the map where there is nothing else. The staff passageway connects to the deep sea fish booth. My idea seemingly confirmed, I nod without realising it. The deep sea fish booth is the only place in this aquarium I haven't seen yet. Surely Mantan's aquarium's secrets will be there. Just a little further and I can finally reach it. This is... As I trace my finger along the map, I mentally position the booth in the aquarium on it. Come out of the tunnel tank, turn right, and the fish of the world booth should be there. Go in a straight line immediately after the left at the passageway before that, then take another left and there's the director's office. God, have I got to remember this? So it's chasing back, so from the directors it would be right, straight, left. In other words, if going straight through as the map says, this office is just past the tunnel tank, and between the tunnel tank and the director's office is situated the deep sea fish booth. So then this room with the red circle is here. The director's office is directly connected to the deep sea fish booth. Since there's nothing written in the map's blank spaces, save for the red circle, I think it's safe to say it's the room I'm in right now. I stop looking at the map and begin to glance around the room. There is nothing but bookshelves along the walls, even though there should be something leading to the deep sea fish booth. Oh my god, it's gonna be one of those secret doors, isn't it, behind a bookshelf. You gotta pull the right book and it opens up. The tank. Looking at the tank on the interior of the room, I mutter, surely there should be something within the tank. I cannot swim through the tank to reach the deep sea fish booth. I'll now have to look around the room again more thoroughly. Yeah, you don't want to be drowning in water again. Just as I was about to look around the room, I spot a picture frame on the desk. It is with two people standing side by side. It has probably been stretched from its original resolution, making it hard to clearly distinguish the faces. However, they are familiar. As I'm exploring the desk, I discover something of a metal frame below it, about 50 centimeters all around. The parts and materials on the inside are different. On one side of it I find a collapsed handle. This is... Put my hand on the thing that looks like a handle with the intent to pull it out. Stop! Huh? Without thinking, I look over my shoulder for the voice that seems to come from nowhere. That was just my imagination, right? Even if it's not just my imagination, it wouldn't be the first time here in the Mantan Aquarium. As if mocking me as I try to find an explanation for it, the voice continues even louder with, "Stop it!" I have to ignore it. If I want to get away from this voice, I have to keep going. I shut my eyes and pull harder. At the same time, the ground trembles with a clattering. I can hear the sound of the room creaking. I open my eyes, look at one of the legs of the desk. It's shaking. An earthquake? In a normal earthquake, I would just stay under the desk, but right now I choose not to. I poke my head out to check on the rest of the room. The bookshelves, everything on top of the desk, even the water in the tank is shaking. Prepare myself for the possibility of the tank rupturing, but it is a needless worry. I become aware of one strange fact: this shaking isn't a natural phenomenon. Because the place where I am standing isn't shaking at all. Leave! As the voice echoes, the shaking of the furniture grows stronger. Still, that's the only thing. Leave now! Is it the bug? Is the bug talking to us? It's got little eyes there, and it looks like a shell, and legs. The frequency of the voice echoing from out of nowhere is steadily increasing as well. I can't leave yet. Leave! I don't know if my words are getting through, as if in an argument, I can't even say words. The vibration of the furniture grows more violent as the mysterious voice strength increases. I will leave. I am leaving, but I'll only leave with Hinamo! Instinctively, I give a voice to my determination. I have no choice but to move on. I sit down once again and reach for the handle under the desk. At that moment, my body is suddenly flipped backwards. It's not that I tumble on my own, but I felt more like I was pulled backwards by an invisible hand. I won't give up. I won't give up. Leave, leave, leave. No, I won't. Once more, my face is pushed close to the floor. My vision is concentrated on the small handle. My hand could easily reach it, but... My body is once again knocked back by this unknown force. Doesn't matter how many times I'm pretty sure it does if they, beat the hell out of you. It doesn't matter how many bad experiences I've had up to this point. Surely just one more step I can reach this unknown territory. What if there's nothing there? No, there has to be. This farce is trying to stop me as proof of that. Even if there's nothing there, I will leave here together with Hinamo. I'm no longer the me who knew nothing. Even if I had to drag Hinamo behind me, I will find a safe way out and leave this place, no matter what. So I absolutely must keep going! At that moment, there is a pulsation. It isn't my heartbeat, but the entire room pulsing with a loud thump. What? Is something else happening now? At this moment, the shaking of the furniture stops. In exchange, my own heart is pumping blood rapidly through my body with a ba-thump, ba-thump. All the lights in the room go out, and it becomes pitch black. I use my hands to feel for the handle on the floor, but I can't seem to find it. Oh God. This light. A photospheric red light begins to shine through the tank inside the director's orifice. The water inside the tank becomes illuminated with red colour, faintly lighting the whole room. The red light seems to be corroding the entire room little by little. fish? How? Fish swimming in the air begin to penetrate the room. They seem to be riding the flow of the light from the tank swimming inside of the red light. Fish swimming where there is no water. Probably a major misunderstanding I've had here in the Manten Aquarium. The red light is water! The room quickly fills with light. If the room fills with water, I'll drown. Staying in this room in this state is dangerous. Well, considering you've just said that, I immediately want to be like, leave the room. The only thing about sticking around is maybe you can get the hatch open, or whatever the handle is. But there are other ways to the deep sea fish booth. That's rude. As I fumble about, my body slowly begins to float in the air. This place is already filling with wavering water. Trying to control my body, I reach for the door of the director's office. I have to get out at once. At this rate, I need to pull myself together in a safe place. My fingertips somehow touch the door. I grab the doorknob and I can't move it. This one way in and out won't budge. Ugh. I cough up the remaining oxygen in my lungs in shock when the door refuses to open. Oh god, was the running away the death? My body is nonchalantly overcome with the sensation of floating. Just that like that, I lose consciousness. This is... No longer being of this world, I've become aware of something strange. Then my soul is pulled into a large container. Deep red emotions. This isn't just me, but numerous souls. Dominated by malice. Now I no longer have my original form, instead become nothing more than one part of a whole, moulding into a colony. It's all over now. The me that was me is finished. Bad ending. You got, I don't know. Oh, there we go. 25% of bad endings. Amongst the gear ones. There I thought running away would be good. But then staying seems bad as well, unless, like, I shouldn't have picked the director's office. Or, you know, the voice screaming at you to leave, like, you should have listened to them. I cannot give up. Courage springs up within me. If I'm going to escape from the Manten Aquarium with Hinamo, I have to overcome this obstacle. Going from midair to underwater, I have to overcome this nightmare trying to force me to drown to death. I've escaped so many times and been rescued from the brink of death. However, I won't lose anymore. Yeah, you tell that invisible red water who's boss. The red light is eroding the room and numerous fish are swimming. When I saved that girl, I overcame a similar obstacle, but knowing something by chance about a creature's habitat, I was able to do something about the situation. However, I cannot use the same method here. There are no machines, and there are too many varieties of fish for me to know about them. Moreover, I need to find a more basic solution. That girl, whose name I don't even know, she talked about a grudge. There were two cases, a murder investigation and a mass culling, involving this malice. was the director. I'm just going to save it just in case, because the director's accidental death was caused by an error in the deep sea fish booth that also caused all those others' deaths. Either way, what if it wasn't an accident? What if the whole thing was targeted at someone? I can see what caused that closing down of the Mantan Aquarium, the bitter intent against the one who killed them. In other words, regret and a grudge. Oh my god, it's the ring, but with fish. It's a fish ring. I built great fear and anxiety towards Mantan Aquarium. But if my thinking is correct, then what I should be afraid of isn't the aquarium, but the deceased that have taken on its form. Flashback in a moment. Maybe so. There are so many rumours though. Seeing a man's ghost in the tanks, the deep sea fish booth being open only on the days of a full moon, that all the water changes into blood, or that you can hear crying from the back of the tanks. Inamo's words from the lunch break long ago will come back to me now. The director, you! As if agreeing with my conjecture, the red light glows more dense, and it becomes hard for me to breathe. I don't have time. With just one more step, I should be able to overcome this phenomenon. I save. That's what I do. Well, we know reaching for the door is not going to do anything. I don't see why the desk or the bookshelf would help. In my pocket, the only thing that I know is that we've got those charms. Oh, this is going to be... Let's go for pocket. My own body has taken on buoyancy and is floating around. The entire room is now underwater. It doesn't just have water in it, but it is water. So I try and control my wavering body. I search my pockets. My fingers feel something and I pull it out. It's the keychain with the starfish charm. A sticker photo is attached to the back. Director, if you can hear me from somewhere, watch this. A bubble as big as my mouth leaps out. The red bubble raises up through the interval between the air and the water. I cover my nose and mouth with my left hand and hoist the keychain up high. Ugh. My lungs are at their limit. The results of my defiance will be life or death. If my conviction is nothing more than a mistake, I die by suffocation. However, this is the last bit of air in my lungs. Last bit of air in my lungs, this little red bubble climbing to the heavens, along with my memories. The inside of my head is becoming murky. There isn't enough oxygen. I'll die. In just a matter of seconds, I will drown to death. Stop this, father! In time of the girl's voice, I feel the pain in my body crashing into the ground. Oh, we did it! With a thud, my buttocks begin to hurt. However, that pain is proof that the director's office has returned to normal. Without hesitation, I feel grateful for gravity. It's all right now, father. Say you? Say you? Just like that, when I try to open the floor, a voice echoes through the room. As I steady my breathing, I look around me and survey the room. As I expected, I cannot find the source of the voice. I've heard this voice before. It is a voice I've heard many times in the Mantan Aquarium. A hollow voice, one that projects well. This isn't a mistake. As the voice of the girl, the one killed by that woman. I take another look at the picture on the keychain in my hand. By father, do you mean that this is... Sounds like she must be his daughter. In other words, that girl was the daughter of the director? She is. So then that's why. Realize that she is the daughter of the director whose murder was made to look like an accident, which is why she has so tenaciously pursued the secrets of the Mantan Aquarium. She's a ghost. Along with the surprise, I feel understanding. Blue light shines through the translucent tank. The ominous red light from earlier is no longer there. In the space between the blue light, I can see two silhouettes, like images projected on a screen. They are a bit vague, but I can easily identify them. A middle-aged man and a girl. The two of them face each other in a pleasant manner. So you've gotten so big. The silhouette that appears to be the director says in a kind voice. I decide to watch the pair's conversation quietly for a bit so as not to interrupt. You're making such a big deal of it. More importantly, I've found her, the criminal who killed you. Say, are you? That woman, I was killed by her as well, but after coming to the Mantan Aquarium so many times, I was finally able to confirm it on my own. So I am more or less satisfied. Because of me, even you were... Say I... Don't say any more. I have no regrets. If you keep going, all of my efforts will be in vain. I lived and died solely for my objective. She says in a cool voice, talking about her objective even after her own death. What a tragic thing. Listening to her words, the director's mouth becomes a straight line as if looking down, or as he looks down, holding back his regrets. Your face has changed so much in the last few hours. Me? She shifts her gaze from the director to me. She turns her attention from the director and continues. The fact that you are not surprised to see a ghost really isn't normal, but I understand how you feel. Considering the stuff we've seen. Yeah, that's right. I suppose you could say I've gotten used to it. I wish I could have gotten to know your name. You never would tell me. It doesn't matter now, since I'm dead anyway. Still being a cold beach. But now she talks like someone else's problem. The director at her side responds to the question about her name. Yeah. Is the girl's full name? I am her father and the director of the Mantan Aquarium. So you are the director after all. It would probably be more accurate to say former, but it seems I lost my sense of reason for a long time. I wonder why it's only now that I've regained my senses. Lost his sense of reason, he says, as if there's no longer the case. Nevertheless, the story seems to be substance to the theory that Mantan Aquarium gave form to grudges. Having returned to his senses, no strange phenomenon seemed to take place. On the contrary, I could say that the earlier poltergeist phenomenon the director caused would also serve as proof, but I don't see any need to blame him. Wasn't it seeing your daughter that returned you to your senses? Hey, stop adding Chen. I have a name too. I don't like it. And it's I have a name too. So stop with the hey and you stuff. Yeah, just piss off the ghost. They've got grudges and can drown you in red water weird light. But at least, I guess there's a goodness out of her death, considering she just had her head smashed in. I was wondering, is there a way to save her? But apparently we needed her to die. And I think that's a nice place to wrap it up for here. We will continue on soon. So thank you everyone. Take care. Bye for now.